Welcome to GratiTube. I'm Jason Caras.
Hi, I'm Frank Clark, also known as Mr. Orange to some of my friends. Today, our topic is about midlife. You know, reaching that point of your whatever level of existence you have and whatever age you consider your midlife point. And
Is it a crisis or an opportunity?
Yeah,
right.
You know, it's the proverbial phrase midlife crisis.
Right.
You know, what does that mean, right? Does that mean that you're at the point where you're saying, okay, I'm kind of giving up. I'm looking at the downward spiral of the rest of my life. You know, or is it, I've reached my midlife, man, it's time for me to just re-energize and, you know, try new things and get crazy and do all kinds of wild shit, or,
Right.
you know.
So, there's a guy at the gym I see all the time. He's about 58 years old, and he's actually he's in professional bodybuilding competitions, right? So that's one extreme to what you can do
Right.
in your midlife and on. But
Yeah.
for most of us, it's really, you probably end up in a shape that you're not really used to, or you've become accustomed to over the years. You've gotten slower. You don't have as much energy. You don't have as much drive.
Right. You're maybe your sex drive isn't as high as it used to be, and now you're starting to judge yourself. Or maybe you're not in the shape that you used to be when you were the track star in All-State, right? Or maybe your identity has been totally, engulfed by your children. You know,
Right.
your
Yeah.
identity is your children's identity, or your identity is your spouse's identity, and your identity is your work. You know,
And you've been doing it for years and years and years, right?
yeah, and now you've been laid off and you're 57 years old, or now you're in your 50s and
Or your kids moved out.
Your kids moved out. They go to college. Or they become
You're an empty
parents themselves.
nester, right?
You're
Now you're an empty nester. You're like, what do I do? Your identity became being a parent, being a provider, being an executive at a company, being whatever it is that you do for work.
Yeah.
That's become your identity over these years. And as you look on the horizon, there are opportunities, but it's you got to take stock in where you're at right now.
Exactly. I mean, in the things that you did, your marriage, your job, your children, all this stuff, they brought you fulfillment. But what happens when that fulfillment gets yanked out from under you?
Right.
25-year marriages end, right? Your children are gone. You're looking at your health, and some of your friends are sick. They're getting cancer, and they're like, oh, shit, man, I guess I better take care of this. Oh, you start accepting. You wake up with a bad knee. Oh, I just got to live with that now. Oh,
Right.
Okay, well, I didn't have that back problem, but okay, I guess that's part of being old.
I don't have any energy. I guess that's just me getting old.
Yeah, and you just surrender to that statement, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
And you basically have what's called a midlife crisis.
Right.
And what we want to talk about today...
And it doesn't mean you're going to go buy a Ferrari or a Corvette. It's
Well,
really...
you might.
But it's an identity crisis,
Yeah, you
right?
might,
It's
yeah.
an identity crisis because you've developed an identity over the years, and it is kind of a crisis because you're now poised to look at the rest of your life, and you may or may not be satisfied with what you've accomplished so far. Most likely, life's done a pretty good job to beat some of your dreams out of your head. It does that.
Yep.
Life is not easy.
Yeah, life will kick you in the ass, man.
It really will.
It's your biggest opponent every single day is life.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Anyway.
Anyways, the point is that, if you look back in your life, and okay, you were the track star, you were the all-state athlete,
Right.
You married the cheerleader, right? Or you became, the general manager of your business, or you started a company. What got you there? And let's tap into that resource, that internal drive, that internal vigor, that intestinal fortitude that you at one point in your life had, that now it's time to reinvigorate, if you will. And add to that, not just your intestinal fortitude, not just what you own internally, and not all those points of references that you had great life and things you can be really grateful for, but think about all the people you've influenced or have influenced you over your 50, 60 years of life. Think about your human capital. Think about the things you've accumulated just in friends, network, resources, that now's the time. Okay, now's the time, you're like someday maybe I'm going to call that favor in, Mr. President of the bank. Someday maybe I'm going to call that favor in, somebody who's now the best nutritionist in the world, or the best personal trainer.
Right.
And now's the time to do that, okay?
You spend a lifetime accumulating the knowledge and the experience It's valuable. You might be staring down a very competitive job workplace where you say, well, I'm 55 years old. Who's going to want me now? And maybe some of that's true. But what can you do about that? Hey, you have a lot of knowledge. Maybe you hang a shingle.
Yeah, maybe you hang a shingle, start a new business. You start something. Maybe your shingle is, or you've been, fortunate enough to put some money aside, and it's time. You're looking at an empty nest. Well, go make your nest someplace else. Why don't you just jump on a plane and go to the Caribbean for a month? Go live there, right? Go learn a new language. Go, test your body in a way that it hasn't been tested before. Go do a Spartan race out there. Join one of those things for a little bit.
But whatever it is, though, right? You got to go back to the basics. What are the basics that got you there? What are the basics that made you a track star or hockey player or climb in your company? Those are the same ones. They still apply. They're timeless.
They are.
It starts with how you're waking up.
How you waking up in the morning? Okay, it's Monday. Do you roll out of bed and go, oh, it's fucking Monday, same thing over and over and over again? Or are you excited, like you can't wait to wake up because what you're about to embrace and get into for the day is just so freaking exciting that all you want to do is just embrace it and go, you can't wait. Lunch breaks, you're working through it because you're just like, oh man, I'm jazzed. I started this new t-shirt company and it's freaking amazing. It's something I've always wanted to do. I started learning how to speak Italian, and all I can do is like every break I get or in my car, I'm listening to it, and I'm, buongiorno.
Tu sei bella.
Whatever.
Forte bella.
A pizza.
But whatever it is, it starts with mental management, right? You got to start your day, and you have to suppress anything that says, I'm old, I'm tired, I don't have the... Just suppress that and replace it with the opposite of it. Even if you're faking it, you can help yourself, motivate yourself. And, what is motivation, really? You think about, like, people that go to motivational seminars and read motivational books and listen to motivational podcasts. Yes, you're attaining knowledge, but ultimately, you're changing the way you feel. And when you feel good and you're motivated and you're excited and you're working towards a worthy ideal, you glow. You attract people in your life. You glow.
Yep.
And the whole world takes on a whole nother meaning. And literally, it may go away in a couple months, right? Go back to another seminar. Because it's all about how you feel. So some of the things you can do in feeling is start the day with motion, right?
Exactly.
Well, let's before you do that, before your feet hit the ground, it should start with gratitude. Take stock in what you have and what you're thankful for the minute your feet hit the ground in your bed.
Exactly. I'll give you like a little example of that. This morning, I'd been traveling all weekend and driving a lot, so I was a little tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep all weekend long, but this morning I said, okay, I'm going to set my clock for, early morning, and I just got this Alexa, so I said, Alexa, play...
What you say, Sonny?
Yeah, say...
This Alexa thing isn't working.
So I had Calvin Harris, Let's Go, as a song, and I said, make sure you wake me up to that song this morning. So blaring at, first thing this morning is like, let's go. It's now or never.
What a great idea. I love it. What a great idea.
I had this like blaring music of motivating stuff. I got out of bed. I did this thing Tony Robbins taught me about how to prime, which is, breathing really intensely, moving your body, and then having a moment of gratitude. And what I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my new relationships. I'm grateful for this guy, being in my life. And I'm grateful that I now, at 59 years old, have a new chapter of my life. I'm not at the fucking midlife point at all. When I'm 70, I'll be at the midlife point because I'm rolling into 140 with cartwheels, okay? I'm going to have a good life.
And sooner or later, when you grow up, he's going to stop swearing.
Maybe. I doubt it.
but so an attitude of gratitude, right?
Yeah.
You're starting your day reflecting on the man or the woman that you are and taking stock for what you have. But then as you get movement going and you get excited about your day, it's exercise. If you want to pursue anything in life, even if it's learning a language, you need the energy to sit down and read a book or listen to the tapes or whatever it might be. It all boils down to energy.
Motion. Get your body moving.
Motion creates
emotion.
Emotion.
Yep.
That's right.
Get your body moving. whatever it is, breathe deep, stand up, stretch, do some push-ups.
Even if it's 10 seconds. I mean, literally, you have 10 seconds. 10 seconds are surely going to pass.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, God, you've already watched us for probably 7 minutes, so.
Right, yeah, 9. It's all going on 10. Cheese and crackers. We're running along.
You could have been doing some push-ups while you're watching us.
Yeah.
Or running from the room going, this sucks, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, again, the point of today's podcast, or not podcast, but today's video, our story is, it's time to invigorate your life. It's time to step up. If you're stuck,
Make you important.
Make you important. Make your why. Why am I existing on this planet? Why did I wake up today? Why did God bless me with another day?
And start something. Who cares if it doesn't work out?
Exactly.
Start something. Move on to the next one and just keep going. Try to connect to that child soul that you were when you were 13, 14, staring at high school thinking, oh my word, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life? What do I want to be when I grow up? Start digging up those feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're stuck, hit us up. Hit one of us up. Respond to our video on YouTube. It's GratiTube TV on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Reach out to us. We'll
comment
help you.
on the videos. If you know what, you might be in the midlife and you totally have harnessed the opportunity versus the crisis, and you've been doing some things that are successful. Share them with our audience, please.
Yeah, tell us what's going on. Tell us what's working for you, and tell us where you're stuck, and let us help you out. Okay? Because that's what we're about. We love this show. We love the format of it. It's called GratiTube TV. You can check us out at gratitube.org. Mm-hmm. And
please subscribe and pass it on. We're looking to help change the world one person at a time.
Right, exactly.
Thank you.
Have a great day.